Wala si Sid ngayon. Hindi ko kasi sinama si Sid. Para pag-usapan natin Region 8.
Yan. It's broadcasting.
Live?
Yeah. So, ang bagal ng play ng audio. It's supposed to be playing the national anthem na.
So we can forgo with the national anthem.
Yan na. We can, I guess. So I'll stop this and remove it. And you can say
you can do away.
Yeah, you can do a welcome thing.
Okay. We're live?
Yes, we are. Let me just switch to. Okay, go.
Magandang gabi, magandang hapon, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali sa lahat ng Pilipino nasaan man kayong panig sa mundong ito dahil tuwing Lunes ang Lakbay ng Buhay ay mapapanood, mapapakinggan sa YouTube, Facebook at Lakbay ng Buhay. Ngayon, this is actually a follow-through ng aming programa ng Lakbay ng Buhay sa Region 8, which is the Facemask distribution. And with us tonight is the National Chairman of the Eagle Scouts Organization of the Philippines, our partner in the Facemask distribution program, si Mr. Chito Morante. Sangay, good evening. Then we have another guest, which is, we will be hearing a lot of interesting thoughts niya, si Mr. Butsi Gia, who is accredited tourism guide sa Tacloban, sa Region 8, and who is also an officer of the Association of Tour Operators Association. Is that am I right, Boots? You're a member
Eastern
of
Visayas Tourism Association.
Eastern Visayas Tourism Association of the Philippines. So, we apologize for hindi tayo nakapag-umpisa like what we usually do with the national anthem. May problema tayo sa internet connection. Well, that's what we get for paying high cost of internet in Asia and getting the lowest service. But anyway, we cannot do away with it. That's a reality we have to face. But nevertheless, John, i-welcome mo muna yung ating mga guests, mga viewers dyan. Wala kang sound dyan. Nakamute ka siguro.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Maingay yung mga aso namin kanina.
Ganun.
Yes. So welcome again to our listeners, our viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are sa mundo. Katatapos lang ng Miss Universe, so hindi naman hello Universe, hindi hello Earth. I just found out na this Miss Universe was supposed to be for 2020 na postpone pala kasi gawa ng pandemic. So, yun. So, welcome again and magandang balitaktakan ngayon.
Okay. Now, we'd like to get the opening statements of our panelists. Let's start with Boots Igia. Boots, can you give us your opening statement?
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Maupay nga panahon ha aton nga tanan. Unta ada kita maupay nga kabutangan bisan man ada kita ha pandemic na. My name is Butsi Gia and I am an officer of the Eastern Visayas Tourism Association as well as the current president of the Eastern Visayas Tour Guides Association of Region 8. It's an organization accredited by the Department of Tourism of Region 8. Technically, I became a tour guide because of volunteerism. So I graduated in a technical course of engineering, but currently in my retirement days, I'm doing the tourism as advocacy to help our kababayans here about in the region to foster the need of tourism as a primary driver for our economic progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Boots. Chito, Sangay, your opening statement, Sangay.
Yeah, that's right. As what you have been saying, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. But as I have been telling each and everyone, that I will always say good morning because we always expect a brand new day. Even in the evening, we say good morning. That's the scouting way. But anyway, sir, sorry for the lagging kasi
Problema talaga yung signal. Ay, Chito.
Na-mention ng laging eh, biglang nag-lag.
Laging handa. Chito. Anyway, I hope you're able to get back so soon.
Yeah.
But, Boots, how about you? How's your signal? Si Boots, okay?
Boots
Uh,
is okay here.
so far, there is no problem here. I think I have
Okay.
a better
So,
signal here.
So anyway, let's discuss muna about the tourism aspect before we go back to Chito later on, as soon as able to get back on us. Anyway, you were saying earlier, when we were still nasa backstage style, you're saying that Region 8 right now is just rebooting from the pandemic, because of the pandemic. Over a year of the pandemic, wherein you had zero tourist arrival. So how do you plan to, ano ang programa nyo? How do you plan to reboot the industry in Region 8?
Okay, there are several launches of rebooting of the tourism uh, destinations we have here in the region, and we are done with so many of the provincial grouping. Like, for example, Biliran as a province had already opened, but unfortunately, just 2 days after they closed because they were scared of the rise of pandemic, a spike of pandemic immediately after they launched the tourism sites. And then the other week we were in northern Samar, and I was part of the uh, entourage who made the rounds of the new destinations opening. Particularly, we went to a very special place called the Sila Island Resort, which is a nearly an exclusive resort because of the way they are operating. It's more like the clientele are the moneyed ones. Like uh, I've heard it's $400 per person per day, although they're coming up with some discounts during this opening days. It's because it is near to the pink island or pink sand beach of Sila. Sila is an island which is part of the San Vicente group of islands or the Naranjo group of islands in northern Samar. Then part of it, after that, we went to Kapol Island, another destination which is historic and great at nature and adventure. Then from there, we went to Dalupiri or San Antonio Island, which is another group of, another island which offers white sand beaches and some caves. Then, of course, we went to the most grandiest destination in the region, and if not in the Philippines, and that is the Biri Rock Formations. Little is known about this place, but it is one of the majestic places to be at this time of the pandemic. You have to reach the island uh, by boat for an hour or two, and then do some hiking, boating, or kayaking within the islands where the rock formations are so magnanimous, just like those in the canyons of USA. Then we head off to Katarman, the capital center of the province of Northern Samar. Just this afternoon, I was able to get an invite for a boot up of the Baybay Hilongos circuit. That's in the middle part of Leyte, the west side, but in the middle part of the island. Uh, we are about to commence the so-called pilgrimage tour. We have just concluded, or we have just started the quinticennial
Mm.
celebration of the 500 years of Christendom in the Philippines, and the Maasin's Archdiocese, which is part of the Limasawa, or the banner Archdiocese of Limasawa being in Maasin, has created this pilgrimage tourism, which starts from Baybay up to the island of Limasawa, visiting 7 stone churches.
Mhm.
These 7 stone churches are nearly 300, 400 years old combined. So they are going to make a launch this coming Saturday.
So sounds interesting, huh? It's an interesting
Yeah,
program.
yesterday another group made a launch into the Mahagnaw Lake in Burawin, and it was a nature adventure where you can create lots of immersive experiences on that part of Leyte, the most interior part of Leyte in Burawin, where there is a dormant cave and there is a lake and there are tourism industries being created there, uh, which are manned by people who were once on the other side of the law. So they had been recruited to create as tour guides, food preparers, or even as hosts to tourists coming in. Of course, the tourists that we are targeting at the current are the bubble groups within the region, because the IATF here has not allowed any entrance from those coming from Manila and other outlying
Okay.
islands.
All right. So John,
And
how
then
yeah, okay. So
and
go on, Boots.
then we've heard that by next 2 weeks, the northwest part of Leyte will open, and that is the Kalangaman Island being the major part of the
Mhm.
place, and so on and so forth. Eastern Summer will also open sometime by June, with their nature and adventure, and as well as historic places of old, just like Humonhon, Giwan, which was a host to the Jewish community who had been staying there for a while, and for the Americans and the Japanese during World War II.
Okay.
Northern Leyte will open up soon, with the banner areas of the MacArthur Landing being the historic places of the region.
Okay. So marami kayo. You'll have your hands full. But anyway, John, how's Chito? Is he back? John, is he back?
As per information from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, in addition to what Sir Boots just said, the Lake Denao, the Imelda Lake, is already open. As what I have gathered,
Yes, they
it
are
just
open,
opened
but yet they
recently.
still have. Yes, they are open, but still they have to launch a bigger program, considering
Yeah,
that
that's right.
they have
Yeah,
refaced the place to a better experience.
Sabi ko
yeah,
nga,
that's right.
Chito,
All they have to do is just observe the proper
Protocol,
protocols.
social protocol.
sabi ko nga Chito kanina when we were discussing backstage with Boots, what the region really has to prepare, because once the vaccination program goes full steam by August, local tourists will parang mga ano yan na nakalabas sa koral, makakati ng mga paano, they want to get away, to set free. But
Yeah, that's right.
many actually had plans a year ago, but then because of the pandemic, they had to defer the travel. But when the vaccination program goes full steam, local tourists ang malaki dyan napapasok. As I was saying kay Boots, how ready is Regionate for that?
Well, our readiness comes from the various meetings that we are handling over the IATF group that there would really be the proper protocol observed. Currently, there are some destinations which are having problems in terms of this protocol because the destinations entry points are uh, not as exclusive, just like Kalangaman. I was
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the other day in the island of Daram. Daram is a place which is, I should say, an emerging tourism hub because of an island called Kandiwata, and it is now being influxed by people boat by boat coming from Babatngon, Villarreal, Talalora, even as far as Calbayog and Northern Samar, and then the islands of Kirikiti and Biliran. So the entry point is as many as one can have. So the control is kind of hard to come by. But then we were there. We provided, as a private stakeholder, we provided a mentoring and support to the LGU as to how they should be able to handle it. Otherwise, their resource, the Kandiwata, will be destroyed because of the carrying capacity that is already always exceeded. You know, when several boats would park on the stone island, which is like El Nido, a stone islands, then they will break and then it will be destroyed. So we
Ang,
said
ang,
you have to you have to change your protocol that this they will just be outside of the rock island.
yeah. Alam mo, ang isang concern ko lang dyan, correct me if I'm wrong, no? Chito, Boots, and John.
Yes.
What would be the economic impact in terms of money flowing in the local tourism? If you have that kind of profile na isang island, mga taga-Babatngon, etc. ganyan, an, ano ang economic impact doon sa ano? It's not like the foreign tourists that they really spend. And sometimes, ang problema nga, sometimes they spend and sometimes they're exploited. Di ba? So, how do you how do you reconcile that, Boots, in your planning sa industry? How do you the safety nets na, okay, we have this influx of tourists, but in terms of economic impact into the host community is not that much.
Yes. That's why in our meeting the other day, we provided them ways on how the LG or the people of Durham can create an advantage of this kind of happening within their island destination. You see, Durham before was a strange place for people to come, and now they are coming in droves. And the tourism awareness of these places are nearly nil. They don't know what tourism is all about. So we were trying to tell them that try to create all this kind of resources that you have, inventory them, have an inventory, even the kind of food that you serve, and make it as something that the people can make and sell it, so that their
Mm,
their family
okay,
lives can be changed.
okay, okay.
Now, just now, or during that meeting, we have already found new and very progressive storylines of illegal fishers becoming boatmen and guides. So instead of them, destroying the seas, they are now wanting to earn money through a legal means of being a guide, a boatman, an operator. And now we want them to be entrepreneurs, sell the kind of food that they are able to catch and make a living out of it, but in the best possible way that it is no longer illegal. Wala na yung mga badil-badil, wala na yung illegal trolling fishing and all that. So slowly and slowly, while the impact economically is too small, nearly nil for the moment, we are trying to create a value formation
Mhm.
where people can create a better lifestyle in the future through
Mhm.
tourism. It's a, should we say, it's a long way to happen, but we are very confident that if we are doing it in the right way with the right mentoring and the right push to this kind of people who are unaware about tourism, then we can create a better community in Dara.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Chito,
Yes,
your
that's right.
place is one of the travel destinations na every 20th of October talagang pinupuntahan kayo. And you
Yes,
are,
that's right.
of course,
Every October.
yeah, and you, of course, you're very well connected with the local government right now. So, how does the LGU right now plan to
Well,
recover? I
well,
mean,
this is unlike the celebrations or the commemorations we usually have back in 2 years ago. That the commemoration here in Napalo is we of course we do have a lot of visitors here.
mhm,
It just so happened that with the pandemic, we have to minimize waray na aton mga parada, just like
mhm.
what we used to
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
And then, although may edad kita mga burning of the Philippine flag, the old Philippine flags, ay pag October 18, gin susunog ito niton kuan.
Yeah.
Iton or depende schedule is either 18 or 19 ang mga
Okay.
daan ng mga bandera in susunog ito niya, no?
Mhm.
In fact, I was the lead convener of during the last year's commemoration ang pag-abutan na burning of the flag. Tapos, pag Pizza 20, may danala kita misa and then we just go online, nag-restorya kita about the past. Tapos pagka 18, may dekta signal day, iyo mismo tulosa, dito iyo libong, no?
Yeah,
Oo.
telegrafo.
Oo, may telegrafo. May kita usually nagka-camping ang mga Boy Scouts, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It just so happened that anya na nga tuig, last year, wala kita makag-camping it because of the pandemic. Kay every 18th of October, nagkakaada kita hin signal day. Nga kundiin, titigam na naton ang pag-signal ni Nawara Yayong han pag-signal niya nga itong mga Amerikanong
There were
don't
three of them
don't
actually.
shell. Yes, that's right. Abelio, Hunya, and di na pa doon sa.
There were three of them. I forgot nung ano eh.
Yeah, that's
Basta,
right. So, amo ito, hindi rin na kita nakakapag commemorate. Usa ka beses wala kita mag-commemorate. I just don't know this year, no? October is fast approaching. But during the 50th commemoration, tungod nga Boy Scout man kita, during that time, I was already the station manager of the RFM.
I remember.
Pero ginkuha lagi hapon ako nira nga actor.
Remember-
I portrayed Yayong Abelio during that time. Ako nang
Remember
signal
the-
dito haligi ng dagat.
Remember the 50th anniversary sangay at Palo Red Beach. Remember?
Yes.
That was the biggest reenactment. Remember na
Yes,
meron
that's
kaming,
right.
I was the president of the Owners Association at MacArthur Park. We developed, nagtayo kami ng parang barracks. May mga, amin yun. Ang partner ko doon si Joe, who is now a director ng DBP. May-ari ng
Oh, yes.
Tacloban,
That's right.
si Jose. So, but anyway, what is the plan ng local government of Palo? Because as I was saying, I do not know if my hunch is right, but pag nag-full steam itong vaccination, ang local tourist definitely magpipick up yan.
Oh, definitely. Pag matapos lang ito, siguro po pag mabakunahan na tanan, I guess the tourism will boom again. In fact, the Palo, no? it started today. Damuan kuan pambakuna na diha palo. Even last week, no? May dinang kita panbakuna. Kanina nagpadayon. Kanina lotan mga um, 60 above, no?
Seniors, yeah.
Mga senior citizens kanina aga hasta yung pagkakulop. And then tomorrow by mapadayon pa ang kanan mga senior citizens liwat, no? And in fact, didi bungtuhan na palo. The mayor tikang nahiyahan na pagpahimo or pagpa-open na mga alfresco because mas maupay itadi kahit gawas kay for sure lesser iton aton baga mahawaan kita, no? Kontra na ato kita mga air conditioned areas, no?
Mga confined areas.
We are actually putting coffee shops di may bangon river. Nakikita mo di ba di may palo. I'll take some photos sunod niya panahon and then I'll show you, no?
Sure.
How it goes here. Kay maupay na I know that Sir Boots knows this, no? Okay. This is also in connection with the tourism, the pagpa-upay na nitong turismo gihapon din ni Habong Polo. As what I'm saying is Sir Butch siguro ito na kumita na ni kung paano ang planning ni Mayor Ann Pitiliano regarding this alfresco mga coffee shops may
there
mga
is a
river.
sideboard or the river has now cemented banks and that
Parang
those
parang boardwalk.
May mga dekorasyon na.
there are fences, there are parks, little parks. So it's coming from the old bridge and it's now crossing to the other side of the Bernard Reed Bridge.
Yes, you're correct.
It's up to the so-called what's the name of that barangay? Farther down.
In fact, didi hamay purisima, nag-open na former Mayor Martin Pitilian Martin Garden coffee shop. Martin's Garden coffee shop. Kumbaga gusto niyo kung umuli ka nga di isa nga pwede ka di baga magkapi-kapi kan Mayor Martin lugar. Sir Boots nagkape na siguro dito. Nagkape na siguro Sir Boots dito eh.
Waray pa kayo maka-stop dida kay permila nalalabyan.
Ayaw ko na baga paglalabay. Kaya siring pa ni Mayor Martin, hindi ka ko makakatoy ibang lugar kung di ka umagit palo.
Exactly.
If you go to Luzon from Mindanao, maagi ka palo. If you're from Luzon going to Mindanao, maagi ka talagang palo.
The thing now is Chit, tutulo at aragian nimo ngadto haormok nga diha.
Yes, that's right.
Tutulo na mo lagi hapon. Diri ka na maagi ha main road.
Yes. Pero amo lagi hapon, maagi ka lagi hapon bungton palo.
Maagi kay palo, pero diri ka na maagi ha main highway.
Yes, adi ka na
naliligid ka na, danay mo nito na diri ka na nakita simbahan, di ka na nakita town center.
Pero liwat, pag gagawin mo, madiretso ka nga may seminaryo, no? That's the bypass actually that Mano Butch is talking about.
Nakita ko yun.
May depausa, diha diretso ako na Palasyo.
Yes,
it's about to open.
No, not seminaryo pala, Palasyo.
Palasyo.
Yan ang hindi pa ako nakadaan, Palasyo. Because it's a Palasyo, it's now going towards Santa Fe.
Yes,
that's right. And it's a crossing going to the Philippine National Police Regional Headquarters.
Yes.
Okay. So, Butch kanina was explaining earlier that there's been a shift in their strategy because right now what they're developing is a tourism program that will not only promote the beauties, the beach, the mountains, but also the economic, the livelihood of the people. So, in-explain ni Butch kanina. So, how do you relate that? Would that be relatable ba yan, Butch, sa mga areas like Palo? Not because we're talking of Samar, we're talking of mga hinterlands na tourism program.
Yes, in a way that, like for example, in Palo, we started this kind of program na may mga technical training kami about tour guiding, about food preparation and all that. But
Okay.
behind it or underlying it are value formation.
Mhm.
Things like if you do this well, you can have a better life in the future. Those are underlying value formation thing na kung imo kikitaon it curriculum, mastering ka lang, puros man lang ni technical training. I can do all this cooking and all this. But no,
Yeah.
during the training, these are inculcated little by little. And and as such, this little value formation, as for me, being a witness to this kind of training, creates a certain mindset to the people that yes, if
Okay.
you will only do this thing in the right way, we will really improve. So little by little, you can see them change their lifestyle.
So you're preparing them for self-reliance.
Yeah,
In essence.
that's the essence of entrepreneurship. Through little things, they can create a better life.
Mhm, mhm. So Chito,
Yes.
ikaw sa nga, you're very much involved in media. So in terms of the tourism industry sa atin, how do you assess it? How would it be? Kanina I was asking kay Boots, if for instance I'm a tourist local, why should I go to Regionate? Why should I go to Leyte and Samar? Why not Cebu? Why not Boracay? Why not Palawan? Why not where elsewhere? From
Well,
both of you.
as
From
what
both.
Sir Butch have explained, actually we are going up little by little ang tanan ng mga destinations at naging uupay. And we're not only concentrating in Samar, but we also have to concentrate here in Leyte. So damo gyapon aton actually mga tourist destinations din ni Leyte. In fact, kakulop, nakadi ako didiham may dulag, no?
Yeah.
The Bristow Beach Resort, no?
I've heard of that.
Maupay tira dito ko na, maupay tira set up dito. In fact, di dahil kulop pa lang ani, may adana na nira dito acoustics. And then they also have the fire dance. So, sa rin ko kaya nung kahirayon lugar, but still, people are going there, no? Punuan Beach Resort. Hasta mga takip gihapon yung mga beach resorts, no? May ada gihapon mga patrons kanakad to, no? Sa rin ko, well, I guess, with this kind of activity, in mabum talaga an aton tourism
Mhm.
and aton liwat mga entrepreneurs makakapag negosyo gihapon.
Jan,
Provided, provided,
yeah,
provided, and provided. Ma-observe lahirahan ng mga
protocol.
health protocols.
Okay.
That's
Jan, do
right.
you have anything to ask from our panelists, Jan?
I
Butch and
guess,
Kevin?
ewan ko kung na-discuss din yung, it's a great way to highlight yung specialty food or delicacies ng different areas sa sa bawat tourist destination. At saka mga handicrafts, for example, na pwede ring pagkakitaan naman ng mga tourist guides doon.
You're asking like culinary tours? Mga tipong ganyan?
Yung food mismo at saka yung mga yung mga handicrafts nila,
Okay.
is that being incorporated sa sa part ng
Highly, it is highly incorporated. We the players, both the private and the government side, are now having this mindset that anything that we have should be showcased. Started,
galing.
yeah, started with creating a brand of the banig of Basay. Okay,
Yeah.
the
So
banig of
it's
Basay was
making them self-sufficient, no?
more than that. More than that, let me tell you the story. The banig of Basay was there for a long time. It's a traditional uh, skill that people
Yeah.
would do, and in fact, it is a money-making thing for them. But then we said, no, you can improve that. You used to have banig, which is one color only. Now you can have all the colors in the world and make a banig out of it. Now you can have any kind of adornment making a banig, made of banig. You can have them as part of your table setup. You can make them into fashion accessories. And mind you, there is a shoes made of banig. So it's
Wow.
kind of innovative now. There are so many changes of the simple design. The other day, there was this banig making, and it's no longer made of tikog. It's now made of pandan, made of baril, and all those things that the olden times used to frown at because they were so cheap. Now they are being focused as things of our heritage, of our culture that we should be proud of, but not only as proud as that, but something that we can have money in the future. So that's the essence of our thing. Okay. Even in the food, we used to have several festivals about food, about tuba, about everything. Anything about the region is now being celebrated. Bisan pati ang mga kind of crabs, kind of fish, we celebrate them through our tourism, which is now holistic. Diri nahiya pleasure, as I was telling to you. Tourism in the region is not only pleasure about a foreigner seeking a wife or a partner, but it is about anything that the region can offer. Bisan tubak, may dala kami istoryahan tubak. Because
It's a
Yep, that's right.
it's part of our
It's a full
natural
adventure.
heritage. It's a natural heritage that tells that, hey, we are the only place in this world that has this kind of plant. We are the only place, so on and so forth. We have so many indigenous things that we are so proud to have, and it should be now told to the world.
But
Yeah, that's right.
something
And
that
one thing, Sir Butch, one thing that we miss, especially the Leyteños, bringing that product to Manila, the One Philippines, nami-miss na natin yun, no?
Yes.
That we bring all our products, we bring binagol, we bring mga pastillas, Manila, all the products, banig, as you said, tuba, tanan-tanan. But
Our
because of the
products
pandemic, we missed this all.
now being innovative. Itan moron nato niya na naka-vacuum pack na, naabot na ito sa New York.
Yes,
Okay?
that's right.
Itong binagol,
Bisan nga
naka-vacuum pack
natin mga
yan,
isda,
naabot
ang
ito
mga
na.
isda, may nakita mga isda nga gindaing, tapos
Oh.
naka-vacuum, di ginpapadara ha eroplano and anaton
Yes.
mga Filipino
Albayog is
dito
well
sa
known
Amerika,
for tapa.
nag-enjoy han daing.
Yes. Tapa. It's tapa in
Yes, tapa. Tinapa.
Albayog, tinapa, yes.
Yes,
So
tinapa.
these are what we are trying to do little by little. Anything under the sun in Region 8 becomes our story. It becomes part of tourism. And as I was telling you, it's a holistic thing, but then, it's hard to really make it into full bloom thing until everyone becomes fully aware of what tourism is all about.
But ang isa pa lang
Yeah,
concern
that's
ko
right.
kasi dyan is, have you gone over the stigma, like Samar, for instance, na medyo may peace and order problem with the rebels. So you were explaining earlier, Boots, that how you address the problem on that.
Yes. One of the great stories that I have come across being a tour guide is meeting people who were on the other side of the law. As we say, anwaray mga tsinelas. Siring pa.
Oh yeah.
And diri nagpakatsinelas nga baga himula. So, yan na. They are no longer on that part of the world where they are rebelling about the government, but they are already parcel of the tourism industry. They are now either tour guides, boat operators, so on and so forth. Any part of the role in the tourism. I experienced that particularly in Sohoton. Sohoton is becoming famous because it is the only destination in the Philippines where there is a natural stone bridge. You should visit
Yeah,
this
that's
place.
right.
You
Okay,
should visit.
actually, what Mano Butch is talking about, I have to gather those information also with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources,
Yes,
because we are
because we
also
we,
talking.
we go hand in hand with
Oh
that.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
because we know that they go hand in hand, the tourism department and the environment department. Plap lang sa nira mo pa ito na aton mga tourist destinations, especially in mga iba, ining mga beaches, kay kaparte gihapon ito han pabantay Panginano, Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So, nakukuha ko gahapon itong information that the Tourism Department is going hand in hand with the DNR. So, mo pa actually itong nagiging outcome ining pagbuliganay hin duha ka departamento. Go ahead.
Okay. So, but the programs are there, maganda, it's everything nakalatag, but how much support are you getting from the government on that side, on that aspect, Boots, sa industry niyo?
Come again?
How much support are you getting from the government on that? Kasi nakaplansya na, you have everything in place in blueprint na yon. But how supportive is the government, both national and local government for your program?
They are very supportive. The national government, both the national government and the local government, are very supportive, except for some people who are not tourism champion yet. May kita mga mayors nga diri pahera solve what tourism is all about.
Well,
So,
okay.
pag nadaog kami ngadto, baga diri pahera na suporta han mga programa. Pero napipilitan na hira pagbulig at turismo because they say their neighboring town progressing due to tourism, so they have to level up due to tourism.
So, that's good. It's good.
Yeah,
to
that's
hear
right.
na-
And not only that, Sir Butch, Ngay and Sir John, sa rin pong paman napipiritan hira because, diri nga ni hera sumuportahin so din yung mga kagiusan, well, mag-eleksyon na ba ya? Ha? So baka diri ka
That's
mahilakip.
That's true.
Sabi ko, Boots,
Yeah, that's right.
Chito andyan. It's good to hear that the government, the LGU and national government is very supportive. But how about the community? Are they responsive? That's another thing. Kasi ano yun,
Yes.
But given the situation na sinasabi nga ni Boots, na he has seen lives changed because of tourism. But my worry is because for over a year, walang arrival, walang tourism industry. Some of them na nag-transform na bumalik na to the folds of the law might have returned to their usual self dati.
That could
Sir pa man,
happen.
isa pa ni Sir Butch, kanina nga, ba daw, ito matugutan na nga ni nga tanan, magpapakayaw na mga nga tanan. Hasta't mga diri na katsinilas. Matugutan na nga ni based din ka nga lugar tourist destination, may ada kita.
May mini-mention kanina si Boots Sangay about Inbiliran. That they nag-open sila 2 weeks ago, Boots, you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're correct.
But then, hindi na control yung arrivals. Ang nagkaroon ng surge ng infection. So, those kind of things. Alam mo naman how fast the social media is today. If it gets into the social media, tapos ang industry nun because that impression would last long. It would be hard to turn around that impression na itong island na ito, although maganda yung mga natural features niya doon, but if it comes out to social media na nangyaring ganyan, nagkaroon ng surge ng infection because hindi na control, because there might have been a failure of enforcement of laws and regulations on that case. Am I right?
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah. Tsaka mas malaki ang effort needed to clean up or restore the situation back, yung reputation back, kaysa sa yung i-prevent it in the first place.
Kaya nga sinasabi ko, dapat, ako naman, on a personal note, on a personal view, what the region should prepare right now is for the local, sabagay, sinabi naman ni Boots kanina na ang profile talaga ng tourist arrivals is mostly local. But what you should prepare is the tourist arrivals na hindi lang local within the region, nationwide, because pag nag-full steam itong destination talaga mag-i-increase yan. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
So, at least, you already have the blueprints for your program. So,
At saka from what was discussed is parang the support is not like all financial stuff. Hindi siya siphon for money kasi self-sustaining nga siya eh. So Bigyan mo lang ng puhunan, kumbaga, palalaguin niya na yung ano eh, yung puhunan nila, di ba?
Yeah. Kasi we can, the government cannot be supporting them all their lives naman eh. They have to
John, sometimes it's not even financial support. They only need guidelines how to rethink what would be best to do. How to, they have the resources. Paano nila magiging pera yung resources nila? Okay? They don't need any other financial, should we say, help. Nandun na yung mga resources nila. Kailangan lang i-twist yung kind of thinking, how to
Monetize
make
that.
money out of it, how to monetize that thing. Case in point, buko. Case in point, buko. Maraming buko sila. Okay? Pagpunta ng mga tourist, ipamimigay lang yung buko. And then we'll say, no, you have to sell it. Magkapera kayo. Hindi yung too much yung hosting nyo, hospitality, pamimigay nyo na lang yung products nyo. May saging kayo dyan, pamimigay nyo na lang. May putas kayo dyan, pamimigay nyo na lang. No.
Nawala ng value. Nawala ng value.
Just changing their mindset, because for them, these items like buko, para sa kanila, ang dami kaming buko dito, pamigay natin yan, libre yan. Okay? It's just creating a mindset. Like another case in point. We were there and then we said to our host that we would want to eat your local delicacies. Yaed, moron, whatever you can have. You create that. And when we were there, we created lots of this kind of food, and then you say, how much will you sell? We don't know how much it will be sold. You have to understand that this can be good money to your community. You create this kind of food, prepare it to the tourist. What is 5 pesos, for example? How can it become money in the future? Gumawa ka lang yan ng 1 million, meron ka ng 5 million pesos. Di ba? It's just changing their mindset na may dakabuko, ayaw ipagpinanhatag. Ipaligya. That's tourism. Do not overprice. Price it in the way that sakto lang yung pagkakuan, pagbaligya. In the end, you will have money in the bank kung maduroto ka magtrabaho.
Yeah. Chito, you're back. Nakapag ano ka na?
Yeah, I could hardly go through. Maluya talaga itong internet.
Anyway, we're almost done anyway. So, can you give us muna an update on the face mask distribution natin? Do you have
That's right. Just last Saturday, nag-distribute kita na liwatan aton mga face masks. Naipasalida mo na ba ang video, Sir John?
Waray pa, I had to restart my PC.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, we distributed the face masks, Libreng Facemask merkado publiko, and then we went to some barangays and mga katakip ng mga barangay nag-distribute liwat kita. Ang nahabili na lalot naton yung mga face mask, may dapakit something like usa ka kahon pero atong suludan usa ka kahon mga
about ito unbalik bayad box
10,000 So that will be delivered to Tolosa. Pero ang naton para palo consumed na hiya. So we are waiting for the third batch para liwat.
Third batch.
Repack kita otro.
I expect
papasalamat kita aton ng mga Eagle Scouts nga kabulig kan aton Eagle Scouts Organization of the Philippines. Kaya mo ito hira ang nagre-repack amo gihapon ni hira ang nag-distribute naupdan naton ni hira nga diha mga merkado nga mga ibang mga barangays din niya bungtuhan palo. Nalilipay lot ang aton ginatagan ng Facebook, and they are very thankful. Nahatag kita sa ring paniba nga aton natagad salamat ko no kay diri na namong kunin ni papaliton.
Exactly.
Uh,
Well,
that's right.
with all due regrets, sorry sa mga donors natin. We're having a hard time to cope dahil ang internet mabagal. But don't worry kasi talaga ilalabas namin lahat ng mga donors ng mga face mask. But today lang kasi mahina ang signal. So we're having problems. So again, we're done with another episode of Lakbay ng Buhay. So
Mm.
probably you can give us your wrap-up statements. Boots, can you give us your wrap-up statement? But after this live streaming, please mag-usap-usap muna tayo backstage. Boots and
Sure.
Sangay, ha? Alright. Okay, sige.
Mapareho kitahan Miss Universe nga na backstage.
You know, hindi ko napanood. Miss Mexico, ano,
Sir Boots,
Anyway.
go ahead.
Yeah.
wrap-up statement.
Well, to our valued listeners, I am so thankful that I'm given this venue to share with you whatever experiences I have been immersed to as a tour guide in the region. I am so confident that if only people will have the proper tourism awareness in our region, we will be able to hurdle this pandemic because tourism is a great and a primary mover for our economic progress. Thank you.
Sangay, Chito.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here. And of course, on behalf of the Eagle Scouts Organization of the Philippines, kundiin kita ang in charge ng packing and distribution ato ng mga face masks. Kami gihapon na papasalamat nga kami natuinan ining trabahoon para kita liwat in makabuligan aton mga mulupyo nga diri mahawaan ngan diri lot kita makahawa. So thanks for the trust and confidence, and good evening everyone. Maraming salamat.
John.
Hi, good evening. I'm really excited about what's happening in the tourism industry, and I'm looking forward to being part of the of promoting Region 8, Samaran Leyte, my home province, and hopefully one of these days ako mismo ang maging tourist sa area ko kasi there's so many places that I haven't been to in my province. Thank you.
Well, we had a very wholesome discussion tonight, and I'm happy that we have Boots Gia with us. Of course, my Tokayo is always a regular here because Lakbay ng Buhay is a program that we usually hold on Mondays. Then we have pag Wednesday we have the Real Pick That Yard. Then Friday we have the Talakayan PK Online. But nevertheless, ang pinag-usapan natin ngayon sa tourism industry, just the tip of it. We have a lot more to discuss about the industry in the region. And probably we'll be getting more insights of what it is in Leyte and Samar from Boots in our succeeding episodes. I hope Boots would still be available to join us. But again, maraming salamat, magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang tanghali sa inyong lahat. Nasaan man panig kayo sa mundong ito, pagkat ang lakbay ng buhay ay napapanood live via YouTube and Facebook. So, goodbye, ingat, and stay safe everyone. Thank you.